let's talk a little bit of Super Bowl here, and we'll start with Cam Hayward, who was asked about Patrick Mahomes potentially being a flopper in the NFL, getting a couple of calls his way from the refs. It started with Troy Aikman very clearly calling out Patrick Mahomes on the broadcast, which was warranted, awesome, and I think every NFL fan who does not root for the Chiefs sat there and went, thank you, Troy, speaking for all of us. Cam said this, quote, yeah, Mahomes is going to get calls. He's been an MVP in our league, or in our game, and he sells tickets. As a defense, you know you're under a microscope when you play him. The second they think it's questionable, it's probably getting thrown. And he sells with the best of them. He's the Bruce Bowen. He's the Manu Ginobili when they're flopping and flailing their arms out there. I got to say, we all agree. Nobody disagrees with Cam Hayward here. Legendary, fantastic quote by Cam Hayward. Cam's getting a little snippy in his podcast days, and he's opening up a little bit more. And, you got to love, that's the best part about podcasts is these guys express themselves much more than they would in a scrum of media members, which, still value in the scrum of media members. But the podcasts, you get a little bit more. You get a little bit more fire. And Cam let a little bit of fire out there. I mean, iconic quote. You got to give shout-outs, props where they're due, correct?
Yeah, I did not have Cam Hayward comparing Patrick Mahomes to Manu Ginobili on my bingo card, but unfortunately, that's where we're at right now. No, I loved it. I mean, it's saying the obvious, and it's just kind of when everybody says it online, you can say, oh, yeah, okay, well, we all see it. But when an NFL player, one that has gone up against Patrick Mahomes on several occasions, sits there and is like, yeah, he does it, and it happens. Like, he's going to do it. He's earned the right to do it. He almost got to that extent of saying, yeah, he's earned the right to do it. He's a multi-time MVP. That's going to happen. But, I mean, it happens a lot. We saw it yesterday. Travis Kelce did it. After that first Mahomes rushing touchdown, Mahomes gets in somebody's face. Another player comes over, and he throws his hands back like he's getting knocked over. Dude, you're one of the strongest human beings in the league. You're not knocked over that easily. So, and I love the fact that Cam's, doing his thing. I mean, he's setting up his second career perfectly and saying, hey, nothing is off limits. I'll say anything. And that's exactly what you want from Cam Hayward on his podcast.
I agree. I 100% agree. Is there any question who you rooting for in the Super Bowl?
I don't know. Part of me wants to see greatness, wants to see history.
No, you don't.
But at the same time, I told you last week whenever we were talking about the 4 teams remaining, I really like Saquon Barkley. So I would love to see him get an opportunity.
Yeah. I own 2 relevant jerseys these days, unless I think Manti Te'o's Notre Dame jersey is always relevant because just the story behind it. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to own that jersey? Saquon is one of them, not an Eagles jersey, is his rookie Giants jersey because, Saquon is a Penn State guy. I grew up outside, 2 hours from Penn State, but still Penn State ran through every neighborhood in my neighborhood. Saquon's the move. I'm not rooting for the Eagles. I'm not rooting for Kenny. I'm not rooting for the Chiefs. I'm rooting for Saquon Barkley. That is it. Saquon wins MVP of the Super Bowl. It is all okay, and I'm very okay. Now, if he stinks or if the Chiefs win by 30, Monday morning I'll be a little hungover on the show. That's where we stand on this one, but we'll see what happens.